Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back in the Gumbo Pot. This time taking a look at another unboxing, The Witcher Steel and Silver, the brand new set from Restoration Games based in the Witcher universe. I want to thank them for sending us this review copy. Let's get right to that table and see what's inside this box. I love the Unmatched series. I want to thank Restoration Games for sending us this copy, but understand I've purchased a lot of the Unmatched series, but half of my collection over there of Unmatched stuff in that corner is all stuff that I've purchased over the years, including, if you haven't gotten it yet, the Shakespeare set. That is just, I purchased that one myself and I absolutely adore it. Also, big fan of the cooperative version if you haven't tried the Unmatched system for the cooperative. So Unmatched, The Witcher, Steel and Silver. This is based on an IP, The Witcher, a Polish IP that is very, very popular and has been around for 20-something years. I haven't played any of the video games or watched the show with Henry Cavill, but my son, Jack, adores the video games, and he's also seen all the shows. So he told me that I'm really going to enjoy it. In fact, I'm thinking about actually watching the series on Netflix if I can get a chance. So this is The Witcher. It's going to come with 3 different characters. These are Geralt, the main character, Ciri, and ancient Leshen. And that's the sculpt, so we're going to take a look. It's going to be trouble because I'm going to be careful about saying that particular name. This is for up to 3 players and takes 20 to 40 minutes. If you've played the Unmatched, you know about the series. It's basically a skirmish game with a deck of cards, some miniatures, some sidekicks on different boards. There's IPs all over the place. You can play all the different ones. You can also go to our channel and see we've streamed a lot of content for the Unmatched system over the years. I am interested in this one because the other set that I opened up had like a double character, which I've never seen before. You either pick one or the other, and you get that special power, but the other character becomes a sidekick, and you don't get the special power. The twist on this one, at least as far as I can see, this one has a lot more cards. Normally it's like low 90s. This one has 99 cards, and I'm curious what's in the box. I also note that what normally there's like one core rule book for, at least for the smaller sets like this, and the core rule book for this one is basically the same, so I can go through it, but it's basically a normal core rule set. If you've seen those, there's no need to go through that. But it also comes with a separate set rules book, which is generally kind of in the back of the rule book. So I'm curious to see. This gets right to the action. So let's take a look real quick. But one of the things to talk about in this set, just like in the other set, for the Witcher sets have something called ongoing schemes. And that means if you play a scheme card, that's the lightning bolt cards, you're going to get that benefit, but also there's going to be an ongoing benefit as long as the card says it lasts. For instance, one of the cards was, you play this thing, you get this thing. And then from then on, you got this particular benefit. So we'll see what those have here. There are conditions that happen when they get discarded. And that other one I was looking at, if you didn't attack, you lost the card. So it was definitely an aggressive card. Special rules for this set. Geralt has his always prepared ability. And that means he's got gear cards. His action cards can be gear cards. There are 3 types of gear, 2 of each type, and 2 copies of each card. At the beginning of the game, you'll customize your deck by choosing 1 of each type to include, add both copies, and return the other gear to the box. So that explains the 99, and then you'll shuffle, of course, to start with 30 cards. Because you normally start with 30 cards, 3 sets, 90 cards, plus the little character cards. So it usually gets to 93 or 94, something like that. But this one's going to have more because you're going to have multiple choices. One of the things about Unmatched is that I've always liked is the fact that, unlike Shadespire, which I really enjoy, but it's a much longer game and a much deeper game because you get to, it's Warhammer Shadespire, Warhammer Underworlds, basically. You get to customize your decks, customize your heroes. In Unmatched, the beauty of the system was open up the box, pick your character, and go. Your decks are already made. Geralt gives you a tiny little bit of deck building. So, and that's what I don't mind. I don't want to spend a lot of time going through a big set of cards, even with like Lorcana. I just want to buy the base deck, maybe plug in a couple extra cards and just go. And this gives me the ability to look at Geralt, pick just one of 3 sets of weapons, and add those cards. So that I'm okay with. It's small. And then we've got Ciri. I won't say it out loud because my phone is still on. Her special power is Source, possessing a staggering but often uncontrollable power. Some of her cards are source cards. They have an icon for them. And they'll have 2 effects on them with numbers. When you resolve them, count the number of source cards in your discard pile. Resolve the effect that has the highest number that is equal to or less than the number of source cards. You may not choose to resolve the effect with a lower number. If you have fewer source cards in your discard, don't resolve either effect. And if you have 7 or more source cards in your discard pile, effects on your cards cannot be canceled. Well, that's interesting. So it's going to be kind of a sort of an engine building, but where you're trying to build up to become stronger. There's been a couple of decks that have played with that in different ways. This is a unique take on it, so I'm curious about this one. And then Ancient Leshen. Unlike most heroes, the Leshen has a different move value than its sidekicks, the wolves. If you boost your move, you'll add the boost value to your fighter's respective move values as normal. For instance, if you boost your move by 2, you can move the Ancient Leshen up to 3 spaces and each of your wolves by 5. Some of the Leshen's effects let you summon a wolf. If you have any wolf tokens off the board, we've seen that with some of the other sets like Medusa, where you can bring back tokens. The bonus to the Ancient Leshen special ability only applies if the Ancient Leshen attack this turn. Of course, we talked about the ongoing schemes. Each set comes with a different battlefield. I'm going to keep this aside, so when we get to that battlefield, we'll take back and take a look at it. Let's get inside the box. The back of the box, of course, shows 3 different figures, sample of the battlefield, what it looks like, some samples of the cards, a little bit of the background. They've got the dials. You do have to put these together, but they're super easy. You just pop them out. Boop, boop. Pop out the little middle part on each one of these. And then there's going to be some tabs on the inside. You'll place the tab, lock it in, and that shows the health dial shows how much health you have during the game. Obviously, you want to keep it off of 0 as long as possible. And there'll be health dials for each of the characters, including there's actually 2 for each of these. So we're going to look at that when we see. Geralt has an extra one for Dandelion, and so does Ciri. So we'll take a look at those. As you can see, well made, easy to pop out, good cuts on the cardboard. All right. Normally, the sets come with double-sided maps. Except for the single solitary fighters, but obviously as a triple set, it's going to have a double-sided map. One side is the Fairland Forest. Interesting. And note that they don't have the little circle things because it's just basically going to show you the artwork. In some of the maps, the flip side is the exact same, except it shows off more of the artwork and just has rings instead to show you the different areas. But since these are 2 different maps, they couldn't do that. This one is called Kaer Morhen. And it's got some one-ways. Okay, we've seen this a couple of times in some of the sets, but not this prominent. As you can see, going from this section to this section is a one-way arrow. I'm assuming you can't climb back up that hill without going back around the stairs. So, and that's basically, it's got all these different ramparts that you can jump down, but once you do, you can't get back up. Okay. I don't see, this set looks pretty normal, so somebody's playing for the first time might want to try this one and then get the different one. Although this is kind of interesting. You actually come pretty close here, but there's no way to connect from here to here. It's a long trip to go all the way around. So, and there's no way to really attack them. So that's pretty good. We also have this strange thing where it's only if you come to the spot, no one else can hit you other than being adjacent. So I'm sure I've seen that before. I just don't remember, but that's going to be an interesting game choice. And here's another interesting thing. I've never seen this before. These 2 squares have actually 4 spaces instead of 2 or 3. Interesting twist. 2 really interesting maps. I'm looking forward to playing these. Okay. And then we've got those tabs I told you about. We will use these to do the health dials. As you can see, Unmatched Restoration Games does a great job with their inserts. Everything fits in here, and it's marked by the words to show you exactly which of the characters are going to go which. It's acrylic style, bakelite style pieces for the sidekicks. with the different artwork for the wolves. And there are different sidekicks. They fit right in the wells. And don't forget, the wells also have cards, but those cards fit sleeves. So they made it perfect for both of them. We've got the sculpts. There is the main character with a nice little, not wash, but very, very light details that you can see with the big sword. That is a giant sword. Like a double sword. Interesting. I'm showing off my lack of knowledge about the series. Unfortunately, my son, if he were here, would be able to tell us more. And then Ciri, say her name because that phone. And then, of course, the Leshen, the ancient Leshen. Kind of a tree person, sort of, with horns. Interesting. Good. Definitely something of the woods. All right, let's take a look at the cards real quick. The Unmatched series, like I said, the beauty of the Unmatched series is that it's just plug and play. You pop this deck open, shuffle it up. You've got 30 cards standard. You can even make your own decks with IPs that you want, as long as you fit the 30 cards and the parameters for the different types of cards. You can find that online. Each set has an extra card which shows you the abilities of the particular set, of the particular character. In this one, it shows that the Ancient Leshen only moves one. I don't recall any other character that does that, but I'm not sure. The Ancient Leshen is ranged, and it has Heart of the Forest. Add +3 to the value of the Leshen's attacks if it's already attacked this turn. So you want to attack twice if you can. Remember, at each turn you get 2 actions. Your wolves have a move value of 3. Okay. So I'm assuming that is at all times. Yeah. Your wolves have a move value of 3. The Leshen has a move value of 1. I guess that's why it's not connected right there. And the wolves are melee, but the Ancient Leshen is ranged. Okay. And then Unmatched series is known for its artwork, and as you can see, just absolutely gorgeous artwork on all these cards. Yep, this is I like these raven-looking birds. Flock of birds. After combat, you may place the Leshen in any space. So big giant 5 hit, and then you finish off maybe a sidekick, and then you just place the Leshen anywhere, so you can do another attack against somebody else without wasting a move. This is going to be a dangerous character to go up against. The wolves have their own cards, of course, and they move. Obviously, wolves are going to attack and then force people to run away or move. So that's an interesting one. I was looking to see if there's any interesting schemes. Strength of the pack. You'll summon a wolf into the Leshen's zone. At the start of your turn, the Leshen recovers 1 health. Discard this card at the end of your turn if there are no wolves in the Leshen's zone. So it's an ongoing card. That's interesting. I am curious because we saw that one space that is just one zone. If Leshen's in that zone, where does the wolf go? I'm assuming it goes adjacent. That's how I'd house rule it in any case. So that is the Leshen's deck, and then we'll take a look at the Ciri deck. See? Again, they all come with standard 30 cards. There's no deck building for any of the characters except for Geralt. It comes with their standard card, and the back shows you the different, it's like a cheat sheet for the actions. Her special ability is effects on series cards cannot be canceled. That's the uncontainable power. Okay, interesting. And that's if you get to the 7 of these blue cards here that we have here. So, oh yeah, so there's so many of these cards in there. So a lot of these cards have those little bubble symbols there, showing that if there's one of these type of cards in the discard, then this card's value is a 4 instead. So you'll want to play at least one of them to start triggering some of these 1s and 2s, and then they get stronger with the 3s, 4s, 9s. Child of the Elder Blood, deal 1 damage to each other fighter in the zone, and deal 3 damage to each other fighter in the zone. These are... You don't want to get to the end game opposed to this character, because this character is just going to get stronger and stronger. We got a little feint there with a parry. Cancel all effects on your opponent's card. Okay. Yep. Very interesting. I'm going to enjoy that deck. That's going to be I don't know if I want to face it though. Looking pretty strong there at the end. And then last but not least, Geralt. The main character. Although I think Henry has stepped out of the series and Liam Hemsworth, I think, is going to take over, is what Jack was telling me. So there are some seasons on Netflix. See if I get a chance. I could just stare at the back of these cards. I love the way that the artwork is so unique in the different colors. You can tell each deck, usually some cool thematics. Geralt's power is always prepared at the start of the game. You'll choose the gear, either potion, armor, or sword, and then shuffle 2 copies. So that is going to be the special power. Dandelion, the sidekick, is ranged. Only has a value of 5, so a little weaker than some of the other ones we've seen. And the gear. So we got the Sword of Steel, the Sword of Silver, the Wolf Medallion, the Armor of the Forgotten Wolf, the Blizzard, or the Tawny Owl. We've got some interesting gear here. The gear, Sword of Steel, gain an action after combat. If the opposing fighter has 8 or more health, gain 2 actions instead. I think I've ever seen that in a card. Geralt seems pretty powerful, so we've got a ton of cards to go through. Plot twist. Look at your opponent's hand and choose 1 card for them to discard, and then you draw 1 card. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in this. So that is Geralt's deck with the modifications that we have to make with the gear cards. And of course the Ancient Leshen deck and Ciri. And that is everything in the box there. All right, that's everything you get in the box of The Witcher Steel and Silver, the brand new set from Restoration Games in the Unmatched universe. This is that famous IP from Poland, The Witcher. Can't wait to get to know this a little bit. And I might start the series itself, so these characters will mean a little bit more to me. I'll definitely be getting this played and hopefully streamed on our Twitch Tuesdays. Come check us out on twitch.tv/BoardGameGumbo on Tuesdays, where we play your games live on TV. And until next time, laissez les bon temps rouler.